Hello and welcome to Magic Gathering Strat. I'm Peyton. I have got the third top 10 list here today for you guys. This is the top 10 infinite mana combos. Infinite is used in quotations because Wizards rules state that you cannot have anything truly infinite. If you do have a so-called infinite combination, you must declare arbitrarily large numbers. For example, I can say, if I have an infinite mana combo, I can't say I have infinite mana. I can declare that I have 10 billion mana in my mana pool. I can declare any number, and that is it. But other than that, yeah, how can you resist having infinite, well, yes, arbitrarily large everything? So we do have another preface. Yes, good stuff. These are not format specific. This is just something that you can pull off in any setting, sometimes casual, any kind of setting. You can use it. It's good stuff. This is also not the definitive list. I want to know what what your favorite infinite mana combos are. Have you guys seen any of these? Some of these are really weird and obscure, and I'm not sure if I know anyone else. At least Dan said he has never seen any of these other than one. So any suggestions for future top 10s are also welcome. Any infinite mana combos you like, totally welcome. I'd love to see these. Also, there is no honorable mentions list, just the good stuff here. Honorable mentions, while they're good for some lists, for this one, these infinite mana combos are pretty refined. There's not a ton of them out there. The obscure ones tend to require quite a few cards, so there's no need to go through an honorable mentions list, especially since this isn't for singular cards, it's for groups of cards that do awesome things. So we're going to go ahead and launch right on in at number 10, simple 2-card combo. It's basically when using basics, Reiterate, and Early Harvest. You need not more than, you need at least 7 basic lands and 9 mana to start off the combo. Pretty simple stuff. You're just copying your Early Harvest and tapping those basics for land. This only made number 10 because it's pretty fragile. A single, Force of Will, Counterspell, anything like that, instantly shuts down. It's awesome because infinite mana from basic lands is difficult to pull off. You need a lot of basics. It's hard to do, but the cool thing is you do have access to green if you want to build a deck that revolves around this combo, which I don't recommend. You do have access to things like green. You can go for Explosive Vegetation, Kodama's Reach, Cultivate, all that good stuff you can use and have a pretty cool instant speed infinite mana combo. So cool stuff from number 10, but really is super fragile and I don't really recommend playing with it, but it's still a badass combo. And I'll just go ahead and say right now, this is not necessarily the top 10 easiest to assemble, most likely to win you a game mana combos. These are the top 10 coolest and best mana combos. So while some are totally unfeasible, only in your dreams, yet ridiculously awesome, others may be more practical. Don't hate based on that. This is top 10 cool combos. And things like obscurity and strangeness do add cool values, especially if an opponent's not going to see this coming. So at number 9 we have Oathkeeper, Takeno's Daisho, Conspiracy, and Composite Golem. A little bit strange, some random cards here, but it's pretty simple. You just name Samurai with Conspiracy, equip Oathkeeper to the Composite Golem, and just start sacking him for mana, and re-equipping him with Oathkeeper every time he dies. Be wary of instant speed artifact hate. As soon as your Composite Golem goes bye-bye, combo falls apart. The extra space there is for Legacy Weapon, because Legacy Weapon is a super hard card to find a spot for in all kinds of decks. It's just not super practical, but this combo makes it practical because every 2 cycles you have 5 mana of whatever colors you so desire, and you can basically exile every single permanent they have using this combo. A little bit more easily so than with some of the others, but still it's super cool, maybe a little complex, but it's still really great. Number 8, we have Sword of Kaldra, Shield of Kaldra, Helm of Kaldra, and Ashnod's Altar. Also pretty simple. Once you've assembled the Kaldra combination, just start animating and sacking that token for infinite colorless mana, and at the end of the day, a 5/5 indestructible, first strikey, trampley, hasty, creature removing beater. So you can win either way, basically. And that's what makes this combo so cool. It's also really rare to see these cards actually utilized in decks. Specifically, Shield of Kaldra kind of sucks since Darksteel Plate was printed, but still, there are practically no Kaldra decks out there, and it would be interesting to say the least if somebody made a deck like this. Hint, 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 viewers. I will be your best friend forever if you make a deck featuring any one of these. So number 7, now that we've covered that, is the Thopter Foundry, Sword of the Meek, Ashnod's Altar, and or Kark Clan Ironworks, and Gaea's Cradle combo. You can also use Mana Echoes, works as well. Gaea's Cradle just gives colored mana, whereas Mana Echoes is colorless. So it's just the Thopter Foundry Sword combo, but you sort of cheat a little bit and add a simple card, and all of a sudden it's an arbitrarily large amount of mana. Tangle Root would make this easier to pull off, but it's when you cast a creature spell that you get mana off of Tangle Root, not when a creature comes into play. So just basically abuse this, tap the Gaea's Cradle, and play a really, really big Helix Pinnacle. Yeah, that's how to win. Slightly cheaty, at least I think so, since you have to, add one of these cards, and this is really more of an extended deck that uses Kark Clan Ironworks, since Sword of the Meek is banned in Modern. Still a really cool combination, since you gain twice as much life as you get Thopters, and you get as much mana as you have Thopters. So 100 billion Thopters and 200 billion life, and 100 billion green mana. Pretty impressive. Number 6, we have this little combo. It's an easy one to pull off. It's Academy Researchers, Fool's Demise, and any sort of mana altar. Phyrexian Altar works as well, should you desire mana of any color, whereas Ashnod's will produce colorless mana. It's pretty simple. Every time you sacrifice Academy Researchers, the Fool's Demise bounces it into play and itself into your hand. Replay that Fool's Demise on Academy Researchers, sack it again, and just keep going. I wish that there was such a thing as Legacy Silver Black, because this would be an insane deck. Literally. So many possibilities for this, and is it? Or even just in mono blue, just... No, that would not work in mono blue. I'm thinking increasing confusion and stuff, but that's a rare. So it would not fit in, but it's still a cool thing to get a lot of colorless mana for just a couple cards, mono blue, and you never actually have to cast Fool's Demise. So it is decently low on the curve. You can go off with this maybe turn 3 or 4. Number 5 is a cool combo featured in some Legacy Mud decks. This is the Metalworker Staff of Domination. 3 or more artifacts in hand. Reveal them. You can untap this guy infinitely, gain an arbitrarily large amount of life, tap down all of their creatures, draw however many cards you like, until you get the win condition you desire. Super simple. You can win on turn 2 with this combo, because if you have 1 Blightsteel Colossus and 1 Lightning Greaves in your deck, you can draw it using this combo, and play it with that arbitrarily large amount of mana, and win the game on your second turn. All you need is a Soul Land and a Grim Monolith. I've pulled this off before. It's faster than doing it with Elves. So much fun. Number 4 is the only Pauper combo on here. This is the Love Train. Axebane Guardian, Free from the Real, and any other defender. Insane amounts of crazy stuff in a format where only commons are allowed. That link on the screen is where you should go if you want to learn all about this deck. It is really interesting and really fun. I play some Pauper EDH, some Pauper Commander, not really a whole lot of Paper Pauper, or Pauper at all for that matter. But this is one of the decks I do enjoy playing with occasionally, so the Love Train is super fun, totally check it out if you haven't already. In the number 3 spot, we have probably one of the most widely known combos on the list. This is Grand Architect and Pili Pala. Gained a little bit of fame in Modern, not a whole lot, but it is still ridiculously cool. Pull it off with just 2 cards, and having all that mana of any color, have an uncounterable Banefire, point it right at their face. Just like that. Any X-Burn spell, even something like Increasing Confusion, Blue Sun Zenith forces them to draw through their entire library in one go, winning the game on the spot, even if they happen to have an arbitrarily large amount of life, or, I don't know, some immunity to direct damage of some kind. Super cool combo, pretty widely known, but it is really interesting nonetheless. I may have a soft spot for this, given that I've tried to make numerous decks abusing this combo in Legacy and in Modern. Legacy because you have access to all the good cantrips and Force of Will. Makes the combo a lot more playable, super fun. In the number 2 spot, we have a really obscure combo that requires technically 5 colors of mana, but only 2 cards. Sliver Queen and Mana Echoes. Cast your Sliver Queen, make a Sliver. Add mana to your pool, make another Sliver. Add more mana to your pool, use it to make yet another Sliver. Arbitrarily large amount of slivers, arbitrarily large amount of colorless mana. Do what you feel like, you can win so many ways. Even if you just have something like a Muscle Sliver, and whatever that Trample Sliver guy is, that's a victory right there. And whatever his name is, like Heart Sliver, I think, something, whatever gives him haste. If you're playing a Sliver EDH deck with Sliver Queen, put a Mana Echoes in there, you never know, you could go crazy. Super fun combo, I really love it. It's so flavorful, because your Slivers will be different every time, that's the nature of a Slivers deck, and it's fun to play. And rather than getting eternal hate from your opponent, which you might for resolving this, it's not fun to lose to a lethal Blue Sun Zenith, you might actually get a smile for losing to a massive army of little slivers. Fun stuff, totally cool. Now this is going to be a little strange, but the number 1 spot is a tie. The first combo is Krenko, Umbral Mantle, Ashnod's Altar, or Skirk Prospector, and any one of a slew of win conditions. It's strange to choose a tie on an infinite mana combo list when there aren't a whole lot out there, but these 2 combos are both really interesting and fun in mono red, all good stuff. The Krenko one is a little strange. You need a few goblins to get the party started. I believe it varies. You need more if you're running with the Skirk Prospector. Actually, it should still work with Skirk Prospector, I'm pretty sure, but do it with Ashnod's Altar for colorless mana. It doesn't matter either way. And just make an arbitrarily large amount of goblins, an arbitrarily large amount of mana, and then win by giving all those goblins haste and attacking, giving Krenko trample and attacking, using a goblin bombardment or a barrage of expendables if you're one of these newer players, and sacrifice all those dudes and absolutely lay waste to your opponent. Or maybe you have a Warstorm Surge that was in play when you started going off with this and you won that way. So many ways to do it. X-burn spells that are red. So many ways to kill. And you did it with a bunch of goblins. So much fun. These are both also super obscure. I mean, I've only ever seen one other person use this, and this was really, really rare for a Krenko EDH deck to pull this off, but they somehow did. Fun stuff. You don't see a lot of it. It's interesting, and that's just about it. For the second combo, it is a little more complicated. It is Cinder, Pyromancer, Paradise Mantle, Grinning Ignus, any Cloud Key type, and a win condition. A little bit more complex. The goal is to be using the Cinder Pyromancer to use the Ignus' ability and constantly be recasting it using the mana it produces. The trick here is to use Urza's Incubator, Cloud Key, Bright Hearth Banneret, Ruby Medallion, anything to decrease the actual casting cost of Grinning Ignus. You can play the Ignus for less mana than he produces every time you use his ability. That nifty little, I don't know how to describe it. If it was add an amount of mana to your mana pool equal to the amount of mana it would take to cast Grinning Ignus, the combo would be a little less broken, but it does have its disadvantages of being sorcery speed. But it does open up a whole new possibility of storm cards, because technically we are casting this Ignus an insane amount of times. So you can storm off, you can burn off, all kinds of ways to do it. Still super fun, probably even more obscure than the Krenko combo. I absolutely love this. It is a ball to play, and you can make all kinds of decks around it. It can just be a side theme, or it can be the main focus, and that's what makes it so interesting. So, absolutely love the combo, and that's it for this video, guys. I want to know what you all think. Post a comment. If you want another top 10 list, request it. I'm definitely taking requests at this point. I will sadly not be doing another top 10 list next week. I am traveling. I apologize, but the week after, there will be another top 10 list, whether or not I get a request. So you guys will have 2 weeks to come up with something you may want me to do. Thank you guys for watching, and hope to see you again soon with more top 10 videos.